Anyone who can solve this problem is definitely a little academic star. Let's take a look at the question together. You're given a division equation like this, but only two numbers, 8 and 6, are provided, and you're asked to fill in all the other numbers. A lot of kids see this and have no idea where to start. Actually, for this kind of problem, once we find the breakthrough point, it becomes very easy. So what should we use as the breakthrough point? Look, there's a 6 and an 8, so let's use the bigger number as our breakthrough point. Why is that? Because when 8 is multiplied by a two-digit number, there are fewer possible results. The bigger the number, the fewer the possibilities. So we'll use 8 as our breakthrough point for analysis. 8 times this two-digit number still gives a two-digit result. So how many possibilities are there for this two-digit number? Look, the smallest two-digit number is 10. So let's try starting from 10. If 8 is multiplied by 10, is that possible? That's 80, which is a two-digit number, so it's possible. What about 8 times 11? That's 88, also a two-digit number, so that's possible too. 8 times 12 is also a two-digit number, so that's also possible. What about 8 times 13? That's 104, which is a three-digit number, so 13 is not possible. All right, so for this two-digit number, I have three possible options. It can only be 10, 11, or 12. Let's keep going and look further. When this digit is multiplied by the two-digit number, what is the result? The result is a three-digit number like this. What does that mean? It means this number must be greater than 8. Why is that? Because 8 times this two-digit number gives a two-digit result, but after multiplying, we actually get a three-digit number. That means this digit must be greater than 8. So among single-digit numbers greater than 8, there's only one possibility, right? Which one is it? It can only be 9. All right, so I've determined that this digit is 9. Can we now determine the divisor? 9 times this divisor needs to equal a three-digit number. So what could it be? If 9 is multiplied by 10, that's 90, which isn't a three-digit number. So 10 is ruled out. What about 9 times 11? That's 99, still not a three-digit number. So that's ruled out too. So the divisor can only be 12, right? All right, we figured out another step here. Now, can we fill in all these blanks? 9 times 12 is 108. 8 times 12 is 96. And 6 times 12 is 72. All right, now we've filled in these three positions as well. Next, since the remainder here is 0, the number above it must also be 72, right? There's also no remainder below 96, so that's also effectively 0, and the number above must still be 96. Now look, 9 plus 108 gives us the three-digit number above. What should that three-digit number be? 9 plus 108 is 117, no problem, right? This 6 comes from bringing it down, so we need to put it back. Therefore, this should also be 6. Similarly, return the 7. So this is 7, return the 2. So this is 2. For the last number, what should we fill in here? 7 divided by 12 doesn't work, so what should you do above? Use 0 as a placeholder. All right, now we've filled in all the numbers. Have you learned it?